Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to the Andrew Tate Show, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We've got a great show for you guys today. We're going to be covering the NBA playoffs. We'll also be talking about where Jared Goff's extension leaves Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. We'll also be discussing the UC president recommends UCLA pay Cal Berkeley $10 million per year for the next 6 years. Since we did not cover our dating horror stories yesterday, I decided that we would do that today instead of our feel-good stories, and make sure that you guys stick around for later in the show when we will be diving into our oddities of the day. Before we start, though, I just wanted to ask that you guys like and follow the show. We get a number of questions from viewers that come in during the show, so to ensure that your question gets read on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link with your question. The tips and donation link is gsmcpodcast.net. This just puts your question at the top of the list so that I can see it, and it also really helps the show. Hello, Tate. How are you today?
I am good, but I almost had another heart attack while you're doing the intro. Okay, first off, we had some serious technical issues
Yes, we
yesterday,
did.
and we're not able to do a show.
Yeah.
So today I'm like, I told Faith right before the show, I'm rebooting my computer
Mm-hmm.
and everything to make sure there's no issues on my side. Faith did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized, I'm like, oh crap, I rebooted my computer, but I never saved my notes for today's show. So I was like, as you're doing the intro and I'm trying to get my notes back up, and I'm like, oh my God, I think I lost my notes. Luckily, my computer did an auto save
Oh,
and
good.
I
Good.
have my notes. If not, I'd be like, that's it. Goodbye, cruel world.
Well, don't worry. We got it all figured out.
Okay, and then today, actually kind of exciting because it's our new format.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be doing, instead of 4 15-minute segments,
Mm-hmm.
we are doing 5 12-minute
Mm-hmm.
segments.
Yes.
Makes it for a more, for, a little bit more content,
Yeah. More information for
not so
sure.
drawn out segments.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll help liven up the show a little bit as well.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
excited about that.
Yeah.
All
Alrighty,
right.
well, with that, let's just dive right into it. So, for our first segment, we're going to be talking about the NBA playoffs, and we're first going to be starting out with the Celtics and the Cavaliers. So this story, I believe, comes from Yahoo Sports. So the Celtics.
Wow,
take
that's a different one. Not the Celtics, not the Celtics. You just threw in a third name.
So the Celtics take a 3-1 series lead over the Cavs, who were missing Donovan Mitchell. So Jason Tatum scored 33 points and Jaylen Brown added 27, leading the Boston Celtics to a 109-102 win over the shorthanded Cleveland Cavaliers in Game 4 of their second-round NBA playoff matchup. With the victory, the Celtics have a 3-1 lead in the best-of-7 series with an opportunity to close it out on Wednesday in Boston. Cleveland faced a major uphill climb without Donovan Mitchell, who was sidelined with a calf strain. Mitchell averaged 29.6 points, 5.4 rebounds, and 4.7 assists in Cleveland's first 10 games during the postseason, practically providing a one-man offense. The question for Game 4 was whether others could make up for that production. Cleveland was also without Jarrett Allen, who has missed 7 consecutive games with a right rib contusion. For the Celtics, Kristaps,
Kristaps Porzingis. I know
yep,
that
there you
one.
go. Was sidelined for the 5th straight game with a calf injury, but the team is encouraged by him being able to do some light work on the court with Game 4. The Cavs put together an admirable group effort to cover for their star's absence. Darius Garland had his best game of the series, scoring 30 points with 7 assists for the Cavs. Evan Mobley finished with 19 points and 9 rebounds, and Caris LeVert also scoring 19, and Max Strus adding 15. Strus also combined 7 rebounds and 7 assists, but fouled out with 1 minute 15 remaining in the game. Cleveland rallied to take a 65-64 lead in the third quarter. However, a team that had difficulty scoring even with Mitchell on the floor, and little depth in the lineup ultimately faltered.
Okay. Now, this game from the top, the minute you say the Cavs do not have Donovan Mitchell, you didn't really give him much of a chance at all.
Right.
Mitchell's been the heart and soul of the team, averaging right about 30 points a game throughout the playoffs. I think it's like 29 point something percent, but almost 30 points a game. He's the heart and soul of the team. The Celtics already the better team, the deeper team. And so, honestly, I didn't think this is going to be much of a competitive game. And I was surprised at how well the Cavaliers hung in there and fought so hard during this game. This game, it kind of seems like the Celtics, statistically, they're a great team. But I don't feel like sometimes they play like a great team. You can catch the Celtics slipping. And this was a very competitive game, even without Donovan Mitchell. Surprisingly, this should have been a blowout instead of a close win. You can't blame it on Tatum or Brown. Tatum, 33 points, 11 rebounds. Jaylen Brown, 27 points. That three-pointer at the end really was the difference. What kind of separated this game that Jaylen Brown took at the very end. Man, I don't understand why a team like the Celtics don't go through and just take it to them. This should have been a start to finish blowout. When you tell me, no Jared Allen, no Donovan Mitchell, this should not have been a competitive game. But the Celtics are just kind of like, we're just pacing ourselves. We're doing what we do. So they won the game. This series is almost over. I also find it kind of interesting that LeBron was at that game. First off, when I say this, I'm from Cleveland. I'm from the Cleveland area. I'm a LeBron supporter. I'm a Laker fan. Always have been a Laker fan. LeBron is a very calculating guy. He never puts himself, he knows what he's doing. I kind of thought, it was just a chance to grandstand and get his face out there and start the speculation. Does he want to come back to Cleveland? Is he going to stay with the Lakers? Knowing how savvy LeBron is, I thought it was him trying to put himself in the picture, as in so to start to talk about could he go back to Cleveland. So that's my take on that one. We'll leave it at that because I know we got to move on to the second game.
Yes. So our second game is the Oklahoma City Thunder and
Dallas Mavericks.
Mavericks.
Listen, girl, I got your back.
I couldn't find the other team on here when I was looking for it.
Listen,
okay.
You're the peanut butter, I'm the jelly. We work together.
So, is it Shai
Gilgeous-Alexander.
There you go. Okay. Was making his normal share of shots through three quarters for Oklahoma City. Most of his teammates weren't until it mattered most. So Gilgeous-Alexander scored 34 points and the Thunder overcame a Mavericks franchise playoff record 13 blocks rally for a 100-96 victory Monday night to even their Western Conference semifinal series at 2-2. Chet Holmgren and Lou Dort hit clutch three-pointers late, and Jalen Williams drove for a dunk and a 94-91 lead with 1 minute and 29 seconds remaining as Dallas players and coaches screened for a double dribble call. Crew chief Zach Zarb.
I don't know where you're. I gotta see what. I don't know what you were looking for.
Zarba, I think.
Okay,
said
I'm just going to trust you on this one.
said in a pool report that the video confirmed officials were correct not calling the double dribble, saying Williams never had control of the ball before grabbing it with two hands and started his dribble. The teams split a pair on each other's home court. Game 5 is Wednesday night in Oklahoma City. The Mavericks' last chance to tie came with 10.1 seconds left when trailing by 2. Luka Doncic had 2 free throws, but the Dallas superstar missed the first part of a dismissal. 12 for 23 effort by the Mavs from the line. Oklahoma was 23 for 24. Backed by one of the best defensive efforts of the season, the Mavs led by 14 early in the second half, but their offenses disappeared from there and the Thunder slowly came back. Oklahoma City went in front for the first time since early in the game and for good, and Holmgren's 3 for an 89-86 lead with 3 minutes and 24 seconds remaining. So,
Okay, first off, the Mavericks have to go back, watch this game, and they have to be sick because they kind of blew this game, in my opinion. Luka didn't play incredibly well. Kyrie Irving didn't play incredibly well. Yes, Luka got a triple-double, 18, 12, and 10. But he almost got a quadruple-double because he had 7 turnovers. You throw in 3 more turnovers, and that's a quadruple-double in a bad way. Kyrie, 9 points, 9 assists. These guys can never, it seems like for some reason, Kyrie and Luka, which that's their superstars, can never put a game together where they're both amazing at the exact same time.
mm-hmm.
And with these games being so tight, they need it incredibly bad. And it's unfortunate that they can't seem to put 2 games together. And if Luka's not doing well and Kyrie's not doing well, they can't win, unfortunately. You look around at OKC, and it's kind of funny to say this, but when you look at OKC and say SGA just went off, just doing the alphabet mafia on that one, 34 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, was a big part of the rally on a 14-point rally. They went on a 9-0 fourth quarter run. SGA was everywhere. Chet Holmgren, 18 points, 9 rebounds, 4 nice blocks. The OKC just really put on a nice run where I felt like the Mavs just kind of faded down the stretch. This is going to be a great series, but the Mavs have to figure out a way to get Luka and Kyrie to put together a game where they're both performing at their peak if they want to win and walk out of this series and continue on, because they've yet to do it. So that's the thing I'm looking for. The Mavs have to be sick because they could have taken this game. When they go back and look at this, it's kind of like they left a lot of meat on the bone tonight, and disappointing. So Faith is like,
all of his analogies today are very good.
Girl, I'm in mid-season form here.
Alrighty, guys. Well, with that, we are going to take our first break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about where Jared Goff's extension leaves Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. So make sure you guys stick around, and we will be back in a minute.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Alrighty guys, welcome back. Before the break, we were discussing the NBA playoffs, and now we're going to be talking about where Jared Goff's extension leaves Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. But before we dive into that, I just wanted to remind you guys to like and follow the show. We get a number of questions from viewers that come in during the show, so to ensure that your question gets read on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link with your question. That link is gsmcpodcast.net. This just puts your question at the top of the list so that I can see it, and it also really helps the show. Ooh.
Right.
Man.
So this was a last second change up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is my candy for the show today. This topic here is my candy for the show. You're right. I do have analogies going on today, don't I?
You do, yeah.
Okay. This is a little something for Faith because, you know, she's a brand new Lions fan.
I sure am.
a little slice of cake for me because I get to talk about my Cowboys a little bit, maybe not the way I want to, but it is. This ties into the Cowboys as well. It's also a little football. It's a little bit of everything.
Everything.
Let's do this.
Alrighty, so where does Jared Goff's $212 million extension leave Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys? This story also comes from Yahoo Sports. So the debate about the Dallas Cowboys' understanding of what an all-in push entails should have come to an end Monday. That's largely thanks to endless instruction from the Detroit Lions ownership, which capped a series of staff and player extensions over the past 2 months with a 4-year, $212 million deal for quarterback Jared Goff. More than anything else that has happened in this offseason, that Goff extension with $170 million expected in guarantees puts the Cowboys at a crossroad with Dak Prescott. On one path, Dallas makes Prescott the highest paid player in the NFL history at the time of his signing. On the other path, the Cowboys decline that commitment, letting Prescott enter free agency next offseason, at which point another franchise will make him the highest paid player in NFL history. The only detour between those two avenues would be if Prescott gives Dallas a discount, signing a lesser deal than one he would draw on the open market 10 months from now. That's the unanimous opinion of multiple sources with experience in these scenarios, including team executives and prominent NFL agents who have negotiated top quarterback deals, all of whom have watched Dallas linger a step behind the market on the extensions for Prescott and the wideout CeeDee Lamb. They're in the same spot Detroit was with Goff and Sewell. One prominent agent said
Penei Sewell. So they
Sewell.
have
Oh.
they got some doozy names. Okay, you got Jared Goff, that's an easy one. Amon-Ra St. Brown, that's another one. Penei Sewell, another one. Just toss those out there because I know you're gonna have 99 problems with those.
Yeah, okay. So one prominent agent said on Monday night, Detroit did the work and got it moving, and Dallas is just watching the prices go up. They're an entire year late on a couple of deals. Added a second prominent agent of the Cowboys' growing dilemma: when in doubt, blame Jerry. Oh.
I don't think that's fair. When in doubt, blame Jerry.
That's what this is.
But this is exactly what Dallas should have done. The playbook that the Detroit Lions have done is kind of what the Dallas Cowboys should have done. Exactly this before free agency even started, because you're looking at a situation where you have Micah Parsons, they're all world defensive, young stud defensive player. You got CeeDee Lamb, your all world wide receiver, and then you have your quarterback, MVP candidate, contending quarterback. That's where he was at last year. Whether you agree with that or not, that's your own opinion. Detroit did exactly what Dallas should have done. But this, with what Detroit has done, I think has guaranteed that Dak will not be with the Cowboys. I feel like this is the death sentence of Dak Prescott with the Cowboys. Detroit last year, 12-5 record, first playoff berth in 32 years, reached the NFC championship game. Jared Goff threw for 4,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, only 12 interceptions, 67 completion percentage. Man, and Dak's numbers were better. He got Jared Goff, 212 million, 170 million guaranteed. The big one is Jared Goff is now the second highest paid quarterback in the NFL behind Joe Burrow at $53 million a year. And that's the problem. There's no way in the world Dak is going to take anything close to what Jared Goff has. As far if you are Dak Prescott and you look around and you say, listen, I'm way better than Jared Goff. That's what Dallas, I mean, that's what Dak's team's going to say. His family, his agent, Dak, everyone's going to say that. And I don't think Dak is wrong by saying that. So, perfect situation. I think $53 million a year for Dak would be great. What they've done is Detroit Lions have said, okay, we're going to sign Amon-Ra St. Brown, make him the highest paid quarterback and wide receiver in the NFL. We're going to take care of Penei Sewell, and then we're going to make Jared Goff the second highest paid quarterback in the NFL while extending him, making it so that those salaries can get the cap hit is spread out over the length of these contracts so that they have their three main guys taken care of. Makes it so Dak the Cowboys will not be able to do the same. Dak's not going to take a team-friendly contract. He's not going to take a $53 million contract. Dak's going to be looking at that 58, 59, 60 something million dollar contract. They weren't able to spread this out over time. So there's a $40 million cap hit this year. Man, this makes it so, to me, it's impossible for Dak to take anything around this contract. So Dak's going to want more than Jared Goff. Jared Goff has just set the market for Dak Prescott that it's going to be a $58 million, $60 million a year contract. I just don't see how Dallas comes to any type of agreement. To me, this kind of sets it so Dak is leaving. For Jerry Jones, if I'm Jerry, I walk in there and you say, listen, this is what Jared Goff just got, 53. We'll come in, we'll sign you for 55 and run that over the next 4 years, 55 a year. I don't think Dak would take it. That's the problem. I think that, and Dallas is in major trouble. If Trevor Lawrence walks in there and he gets his contract next, it resets it, because that means Trevor Lawrence is definitely going to want more than Jared Goff. And I think he should want more, even though he might not have done as much. But Trevor Lawrence is going to want more. I could see the Jacksonville Jaguars trying to run to get in line to sign next, because Trevor Lawrence, who that each the next two guys are going to want more than both what Jared Goff has received or Joe Burrow. So it's going to be here, and then the last person is Dak. Dak's going to go into free agency, and he's gonna blow the cap off of the NFL salary this year. Not this year, maybe next year, because he's gonna wait to be a free agent. Dak's gonna get with seeing this, Dak's gonna get every penny he wants. He's gonna come in, he's gonna command it, and he's gonna get it. Now he's definitely getting the 60 million a year range. Faith is shaking her head. What do you say on that one? And Faith, before you comment, now looking at this, knowing that, hey, I can't be franchised. I'm gonna be a free agent, and there's gonna be a bidding war for my services. So I know I'm gonna get every penny I want. Remember that before you say that anything about Dak, because he's gonna get every penny he wants now.
Here's my thing.
Uh-oh. Ooh.
So the Dallas Cowboys is known for having loyalty to their players.
Yes,
right?
they are. Yes, absolutely. Not only that, Dallas has been very loyal to their players, and their players make so much money off the field and endorsement. Being the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys is worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
So,
Go ahead.
If the Dallas Cowboys are known for their loyalty for their players, and Dak Prescott is like name brand Dallas Cowboys quarterback at the moment, I just it's so, this whole situation to me is just so like icky, because Dak Prescott's gonna do whatever he can to be known as the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, and it's like, do you have to do that this year? Can you not wait?
Well, that's the thing. Dak wants to wait. Dallas has been wanting to sign Dak before all this happened. Dak's just not willing to, because he knows he plays this year out. If he's betting on himself. As long as he doesn't get injured, he's going to he's going to get a massive contract. Walking in as free agent, I think Dak wants a fully guaranteed massive deal. Something that there's a salary cap. Dallas will not be able to pay Dak the money he wants. I feel like it's over. If you only have so much, you're legally allowed to only pay so much.
No, yeah, I understand that, but wait a year.
Yeah, I personally, when I look at these, well, that's what Dak is doing. Dak is waiting a year because Dak is going to walk away from Dallas. I don't see any way possible Dak stays in Dallas. I think, number one, when you look at the numbers, my number one goal is sign Micah Parsons, sign CeeDee Lamb, let Dak walk. That's what I would love to see the Dallas Cowboys do. I don't think the money that Dak is going to want, I think it's just going to be crazy. I think what the Detroit Lions are doing, Detroit, which has just been a dumpster fire for a lifetime,
Yeah.
not the last decade, not my lifetime, my daddy's lifetime.
Yeah.
It's like,
Overall, they've been a
Detroit is doing everything right, making sure they retain.
Oh yeah, they ain't messing around now.
No, this is not your daddy's Dallas Detroit Lions. They're keeping their offensive coordinator. They're making sure their all-world wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown is taken care of. They're making Sewell's taken care of. I am loving these Detroit Lions. Man, they're doing everything right. I think it's amazing.
Yep. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen after the 2024 season. But with that, guys, we are going to take another short break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about how the UC president recommends UCLA pay Cal Berkeley $10 million per year for the next 6 years. So make sure you guys stick around, and we will be back in a minute.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were talking about where does Jared Goff's $212 million extension leave Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys, and now we're going to be discussing the UC president recommends UCLA pay Cal Berkeley $10 million per year for the next 6 years. So,
Right.
alrighty, so this story comes from one moment, because we were supposed to do this story yesterday.
Yeah, well, see, to let everyone know, we had a whole lineup for yesterday to just
Yeah.
it's kind of like you have a barbecue, you're playing a barbecue, and you had everything all ready to start cooking. It rained on your barbecue, so you're like, we're gonna eat this food tomorrow.
Yeah. So this story is coming from the LA Times. So the University of California Board of Regents is expected to accept a recommendation that UCLA pay University of California at Berkeley $10 million a year for 6 years as a result of the Bruins' upcoming move to the Big Ten and the demise of the Pac-12. Or Pac-2, as we call it. The recommendation was made by the UC president, Michael Drake, and will be voted on during a Regents meeting Tuesday, which is today, at UC Merced. In order for the Regents to affirm UCLA's move to the Big Ten in December 2022, the universities agreed to pay UC Berkeley between $2 million and $10 million because of how the move would affect the Cal athletic program. Cal agreed to join the Atlantic Coast Conference, or the ACC, last year after the Pac-12 couldn't negotiate a media deal, causing 8 of its members to leave. Besides increased travel costs, Cal will have a reduced share of the ACC's media rights deals. According to a report by UC's president, the difference between UCLA's annual media rights distribution from the Big Ten and UC Berkeley's share from the ACC will be approximately $50 million per year. Drake is also recommending that if there is a significant change in revenues and or expenses for either school exceeding 10% over the 2024-25 projections, UCLA's contribution can be reevaluated by the regents. UCLA and the University of Southern California announced on June 30th, 2022 that they were leaving the Pac-12 for the Big Ten. UCS is private and not a part of the UC system. The regents became involved shortly after the announcement when Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom criticized UCLA's move because Chancellor Gene Block and Athletic Director Martin Jereman did not give advance notice to the regents.
Okay, first off, Faith, something that you have learned since joining this show. College football's messy.
It's so messy. It is so
You
messy.
understand. It is crazy.
It is so
And
messy.
Faith, we don't even cover that much compared, like, we don't air all the dirty laundry because there's way more stuff out there than just
Yeah.
this stuff. So,
And I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff that nobody knows too. So.
yes. Okay. First off, UCLA jumped to the Big Ten with USC because the Big Ten, there's so much more money in the Big Ten. They didn't give any warning. They blindsided the Pac-12. And this is kind of like the punishment because Cal and UCLA are part of the UC system and they were supposed to stick together. And this is kind of part of that negotiated settlement where it's like, hey, we're going to let you go, but you're going to get a penalty. And the penalty, it was recommended, proposed penalty would be between $2 and $10 million a year. UCLA was kind of thinking like, yeah, it's going to be 2 or 3 million. No. Oh, hells no. It's like if you can, it's kind of like when you divorce somebody and you thinking like, it's going to be a small alimony payment. I'm willing to take care of it. She's like, nope, I want maximum dollars.
Yeah.
They're like $10 million a year, $60 million a year. I mean, $60 million over the next 6 years.
Yeah.
And UCLA is like, wait a minute, you do realize we're $167 million in debt since 2019. That's how much they've been losing. So UCLA is one of the most indebted schools in the nation. That's part of the reason why they had to pack up and go to the Big Ten,
Right.
is because they're like, we're losing too much money as it is. So to stop the bleeding, we're going to go to the Big Ten. And now they're like, sorry, you got some back alimony you got to pay. You got $60 million off the grip that you got to cover now. That's a massive debt that I don't think UCLA was expecting. It really does set things up. Cal's going to receive about $11 million a year from going to the ACC. They had to do that, meaning they had to take a big cut just to stay a Power 5 team, so they didn't end up like Washington State and Oregon State. So they took that massive hit, and the UC system is like, okay, they're only getting $11 million a year. We're going to make sure they get an extra $10 million to make it balance it out from UCLA. So now this works out to they're getting about $21 million a year between the $11 million they're going to get from the ACC and the $10 million they're going to get from UCLA to keep them at least remotely competitive. Long term, though, this is going to work out for UCLA. Yes, for the next 6 years, it's going to hurt. But when you start looking at it 6 years from now and they're in the Big Ten, they're pulling in that $80 to $100 million a year. These alimony payments are worth it to be like, you know what? It's kind of like the guy that got the divorce from the crazy ex-wife or vice versa. It can be. I'm not throwing shade at male or female, but anyone that they have that crazy spouse, and it's like, you know what? I negotiated. Yes, it's a painful payment to pay for the next 6 years to get rid of them, but in the end, UCLA is going to work out ahead after that 6 years, and they're clean. And they're sitting there, they're playing the Michigans and the Ohio States and the Penn States of the world, still having to be able to play USC and Oregon and Washington. In the long run, UCLA is going to come out of this thing okay. I still don't know what's going to happen to Cal, because after this 6 years runs out, do we even know if the ACC is going to be around? We don't know what's going to happen with the ACC. The ESPN could pull out of their deal, and that would kill the ACC. The ACC would be gone. If a judge rules in favor of Florida State or Clemson, the ACC would be gone.
Done.
Gonzo.
Mm-hmm.
If let's say Florida State and Cal and some other schools decide we're going to come together and break the Greenwich rights, the ACC could be gone. So nothing is guaranteed for the future of Cal. And I think when the UC system starts to think about it, it's kind of like, we got to take care of Cal now because we don't know what's going to happen. This whole college football thing is so fluid that making sure these two schools are taken care of are kind of critical.
Mm-hmm.
So it may seem like it was a bad decision, but I think it was the right decision to make sure that the UC system as a whole is okay. And Cal and UCLA are the top two teams in the UC system, and making sure that these two schools stay on top. I think wise decision, even though it does hurt UCLA. UCLA, they got some serious debt going on. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be lean for the next couple of years. I don't see UCLA competing on the same level in the
Everybody's
Big Ten.
gonna be eating some top ramen for a couple of years.
You know, I don't see. Yes, there's some good money, but for the next decade, I don't see UCLA as a power broker in the new Big Ten. When you're talking about name, image, and likeness and everything that's going on and paying players, and you're looking around and you're like Oregon, Washington, UCLA, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, those guys are going to eat. They're going to be bringing a lot of money, and it's going to be very hard for a team like UCLA to compete on that same level. I mean, hey, don't forget about schools like Iowa and Michigan State and Wisconsin, who are going to be competing as well. I'm going to put you, with everything that's going on with UCLA and the debt that they have, I have them as a lower tier team in the Big Ten. It's going to be quite interesting to see what happens. Man, there's just too many stories going on in college football to keep up.
It's so hard to keep up.
I mean, really, what happens to the Pac-12? What happens with UCLA? What happens with Florida State and Clemson? What happens with the college football playoff, the Super League, the lawsuit that's going on against college football? Does the ACC and the Big Ten break off from there? Does the Power 5 teams break off? It's just a lot going on. Name, image, and likeness. It's nuts. Deion Sanders in Colorado. Just pick your poison when it comes to college football and the crazy stories that are going on. So,
like I said, college football is a telenovela.
I love it. I love it when you call it a telenovela. It kind of rolls off the tongue too.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Well, with that, we are going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into our dating horror stories for the week. So make sure you guys stick around, and we will be back in a minute.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were talking about the UC president recommends UCLA to pay Cal Berkeley $10 million per year for the next 6 years. And now, since we did not get to do them yesterday, I decided that we would do them today. So we are going to dive into our dating horror stories for the week. As always, these stories come from Reddit. I believe the subreddit I got these from this week was like dating in Washington, D.C. I'm not 100% sure.
I think I spent a lot of time in that DC area, so I know that area incredibly well. Fairfax, Bethesda, DC, Georgetown. Love that area.
Yeah, so this is from the subreddit, just Washington, D.C., and the subsection is D.C. dating horror stories. So,
a lot more women than men, by the way, in that area. Also makes it kind of nice. Oh, yes, absolutely. The reason, like I said, wasn't always married. Did a little hanging out in the D.C. metro area. We're going to leave it at that right now, Faith, okay?
Okay. Alrighty. So, our story for this week starts off, I met a girl at El Rey for a first date, asked her if I could buy her a drink. She said a shot of tequila. Kind of aggressive for a first date, but we were on U Street, so I said okay and buy us the shots. We take the shots, and she proceeds to have to get to know you chat. It's loud and we can't hear each other, so she just suggests we go somewhere else. I say sure, let me go close out my tab. 5 minutes later, I turn around after closing my tab and she's gone. Willing to give the benefit of the doubt, I figure maybe she's in the bathroom, and I wait 5 minutes. I text her, hey, are you still here? No response. While I wait 10 minutes, I text, okay, well, bye then. And that was the end of the date. She texted a profuse apology and said I wasn't her type.
Okay, first off, when you walk up to a girl and she says, you're like, can I buy you a drink? And she's like,
tequila.
I got her picture with her like a husky voice. She's like, she comes out
Shut
with
up, Jose Cuervo,
with a little scratchy voice. Tequila. She's not sticking around long. First off, you know
red
what
flag.
I mean? That's a girl. She starts off with a shot of tequila and then suggests we go somewhere else.
It's over, buddy.
If
You're probably not the first person she's done that to.
That's all I'm getting at. Thank you for saying that, Faith. If it's like, give me a double shot of tequila and the keys to the car, let's roll. She's ready. She's primed to bounce out.
Anyone who is taking straight shots of tequila, no chaser, it's not shaken, it doesn't have any salt on the rim, no lime. I just want to say, you
might not have been the first person she done went home with that. It's not the first time.
Reevaluate your life. If you were taking straight shots, room temp tequila, I'm
thinking, we're making some speculation. I know that's wrong to say and do, but I'm thinking, man, you should have paid your bill beforehand because somebody else done took her home. Because think about it.
She's probably going around all that whole street.
It's kind of like right off the top. And I know, like I said, speculation. We're making all it. But right off the gate, she's asked for a shot of tequila, and then by the time you get and wants to leave and go somewhere else with you, by the time you pay your tab and come back out, seems like somebody else can claim your prize already.
Yeah,
it's kind of like you done double parked in front of a place in New York, and somebody done towed your vehicle. You are not. If you don't get out, if you don't get in and get out fast, somebody else. There's a new tow truck that's coming around to pull your car. just like there's another guy that came around and pulled your girl.
I would, this is me personally, I would never on a first date, when a guy is taking me out on a first date and we go to a bar and he asks me what I want to drink, never would I ever say a shot of anything first. Like, I would probably get, like, the cheapest thing on the menu.
No, wait,
like a glass of wine, maybe.
Okay, yes. Okay,
But, like,
I'm
wine's
with you on
not
that
as
one.
expensive as cocktails usually. So I'll just like, glass of white. I'll take that. And then if, he offers, like, an hour later to do shots, then I'd be like, heck yeah.
Yeah, like, if it's the first date, I know it sounds kind of funny to say it this way, but we're on a first date, and the first thing I'm gonna buy you is a shot of tequila. That means the night is, I don't know. And then for her to bounce out, make sure you even heard this correctly. This is supposed to be a first date, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or this is not a girl you met at the club. And
No, this is a first date. First date.
It's like, bam, shot, hit him with the deuces, and bounce out that fast. He didn't even get a chance to introduce himself. Hi, I'm Bobby. No. Get me that shot of tequila. See you later. Gone. I feel bad. I feel bad for my man because, I feel like they didn't even get a chance to introduce. She just kind of ran out. Did you think, like, okay, what was her thought process? She got there on the date.
I think maybe, okay. I
Okay,
think
give me your
maybe
take.
because she texted him, like, apologizing and saying that he wasn't her type. I think maybe she thought she could get, a couple shots of tequila in, and that would make him her type. And then she does the first shot, and she's like, nah, this ain't gonna work for
Okay.
me.
It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad when she was like, she took that first shot of tequila, like, nope, he's not gonna get any better looking. I'm gonna need at least 8 more of these shots before this thing starts going right. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Because, man, it feels like she did the shot. Or wait a minute though. Oh, wait a minute, Faith. My man, he asked her what did she want of her drink.
Mm-hmm.
She said a shot of tequila, and then he went to go close out his tab, and then she was gone.
Mm-hmm.
So let's give this woman a benefit of the doubt. It sounds like he already had a tab going, so he got there before her and started before her. Might have got maybe was a little too, maybe tipsy or so. He did a shot. She was like, maybe I can catch up with him. Maybe I'll do a shot, and then realize, like, no, this is not the right dude for me, and kind of bounced out. I'm going to give my girl, now after thinking about it, maybe she made a business decision. I'm not going to, this guy's already gone.
Maybe
I
she
didn't take
made a business decision.
I'm thinking my girl then made a business decision and was like, you know what, I'm gonna get me a shot and I'm gonna go catch up with Becky and the girls because this is not the guy I want to be with today. That's what I'm thinking. She did. She's like, I need to at least give me a little bit of a buzz. So I'm gonna hit that one shot of tequila. And she started thinking about it and it's like, you know what? I don't want this date to go any further. I can run now. I don't have to worry about him trying to kiss me at the end of the night. This is all I want. Just get me a shot of tequila, and I just need a little bit of courage to walk out. That's all. She needed a little fuel in the engine, just enough to get up enough courage to when he went to go get that tab. And so think about it. She's the one that asked, hey, why don't we leave? Why don't you go pay that tab over there? And, and she did the drop, stop, drop, and rolled on out on him. That's what it was. Actually, I think she was trying to be kind. She didn't want this. Read between the
I
lines,
love how
homie.
Tate has gone a full like 180 on this.
Yes, she didn't want to hurt your feelings. She was gonna like, you know what? I'll let you buy me a shot. I'll let you pay the
Okay,
bill, and then we're
my
gonna
only
roll
thing,
out.
if she was trying not to hurt his feelings, dipping out and not saying anything is not a good way to go about that. Say
But
like
people sometimes are nervous. They're sometimes
she
they're like,
shouldn't be
how do you
nervous.
say
She
it?
took a shot at tequila. Tequila is liquid courage.
That's what she was trying to do. She was trying to get up enough nerves to say, I don't want to do this. How do I do this and let this guy? Because that sometimes that's nerve wracking. You look at a dude and you're like, I don't want to be on this date. how do I how do
Yeah.
I tell this guy there is no love connection? All right, let me get a shot to get my nerve up. And she took that shot and was like, nope, and she just left. I'm thinking she just bounced out on him, and
I
all he
couldn't
had to
do
do was pay
that.
for one drink. He only had to pay for one drink. You couldn't do it. You're gonna stick around.
I couldn't leave without saying anything.
Have you ever, it's like that has never happened to me? Thank goodness. I'm thankful for this one. Have you ever gone on a date and someone left someone?
No.
I left one girl on a date once.
I
That's
have
it.
I believe I stood somebody up once, but I didn't go up. I didn't go on the date and then leave.
I've never had anyone stand me up on a date either. Thank God. I don't know. I would
I
be,
felt really bad about it too.
why
Like,
did you stand him up?
it was just it wasn't gonna work out.
See, you took a shot of tequila and made a business decision. Is that what you're telling me?
No,
Is that what you're
it was
saying?
before. It was before. It was like an hour before our date. I was like, "Hey, I'm so sorry. Like, I can't make it. Something came up."
See, you weren't even honest with him. Again, you should have been like,
I didn't
listen,
want to
I'm
hurt
sorry.
his feelings.
That's why she left. That's why she took her shot and bounced out. She didn't want to. She didn't want to hurt his feelings. See, this is better than what I did. The only time I've left a girl, I think I told you the story. She had been dating an NFL, a very famous NFL athlete, and so
Oh, yeah.
everywhere I would take her, she'd be like, "This is nice, but so and so he took me here, and so and so he took me here, and he did this." And I'm not making all
I'm not the
NFL
highest
Pro
paid quarterback in the NFL.
Well, at the time, he was an all-pro running back for in the NFL and had just gotten a massive contract. I wasn't making that kind of cheddar. I wasn't making, I was making Velveeta. He was making cheddar, okay?
Not even Velveeta, Kraft.
I might have been making cheese in a can. He was making
Big
that
block
real
of cheddar.
cheese. Yeah, he was making that real cheddar. And so every time we go on a date, she would be like, "Yeah, this is really nice, but it ain't on the same level." You do 3 or 4 dates of that later, you keep referring to NFL athlete. I'm like, you know what? Have NFL athlete come pick you up, and I'm like, I'm out. I
her with the
am
Dewey.
out. Yes. No. You can't be. You did it once, did it twice, you did it 3 times. Nope. Sorry about your luck. I
Yep.
gotta let you go.
Yep.
That's the only time I've ever had a chance. I mean, actually, have left someone. Doesn't make it right, but I did at least. At least I told her to her face.
Yeah.
I didn't just like, why don't you go powder your nose there, Becky? And just run off and leave her.
Gosh.
I said it to her face, at least. So, all right.
Alrighty, guys. Well, with that, we are going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into our oddities of the day. So make sure you guys stick around, and we will be back in a minute. Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were discussing our dating horror stories for the week, and now we're going to dive into our oddities of the day. Whew, Tate, this one's a doozy.
No way. All right.
Alrighty, so I think I pulled this one from USA Today. So, the Southwest Airlines looking into a video of a woman lying inside an overhead bin before takeoff. Passengers on a Southwestern Airlines flight were in for a surprise when they spotted a woman lying inside an overhead luggage compartment while boarding. Video recorded by Monique Guzman shows a woman lying next to a suitcase as a flight attendant is heard welcoming passengers on the board aircraft. I can't with your face right now. Southwest Airlines, in an email to USA Today, said the airline is looking into the incident and did not share further information. Storyful reported that the woman was seen on a flight from Albuquerque to Phoenix on May 6th. Guzman told Storyful that she saw a head pop out of the overhead as she got on the plane, and the other passengers were unfazed by her presence and was just casually walking past her. A flight attendant found her before takeoff, said Guzman. However, it is not immediately clear if she was removed from the overhead bin and how long she was there. Earlier in 2019, a Southwest flight attendant had crawled into a plane's overhead bin as passengers boarded a flight from Nashville to Atlanta. The airline at the time had said that the attendant was having a moment of fun and expressing her sense of humor. How in the world did you fit yourself into an overhead bin?
Wait a minute. First off,
those things are like this big.
this is why I needed you on this one. You are.
I'm
Man, I
4'11".
can't think. Okay, see, I tried to do an analogy for small, and I started getting myself in trouble. I'm like,
I'm 4'11".
bite size, no. Fun size, no. I'm like, you're small. And, you know, I don't.
Yeah.
All the words, like, you know what I mean. You're a small individual.
I'm 59 inches, 4'11".
That's too big. You're too big to be a carry-on. Okay, that's all I'm getting at. Could you fit in an overhead bin? Who is this girl?
I don't know. I guess, like, maybe if I pretzeled myself up, maybe I could fit into it. But it wouldn't be comfortable, and I wouldn't sit on a flight from Albuquerque to Phoenix.
Do you think this woman... Okay, here, the first thing I popped in is, do you think this woman was in somebody's carry-on?
No, she
Second
was
of
just,
all-
like, laying in there.
Okay, so she was just being foolish. She had a ticket,
She
right?
was just
Okay.
foolish.
Okay, I feel
She
better.
was just
if
being
she-
foolish.
Listen, I feel better if there's some tomfoolery going on than if this woman, I'm going on the flight and this woman has snuck into the carry-on package. You know, she's in a suitcase. She don't even have a ticket on the flight. That's what I was kind of worried about.
Oh my God.
This is just a foolish woman that was just doing something dumb. I feel better about this than if she is pint sized and she's on somebody's carry-on, just looking out of the suitcase, like, "Hey, y'all, how y'all doing? Just keep it quiet." That's what I was picturing at first. She didn't even have a ticket. That's what I was. And second of all, Faith, this is why I don't fly Spirit, and this is why I don't fly Southwest. Okay, because this don't happen on Emirates.
You really
So-
shouldn't. Yeah, you shouldn't cheap out on your airplane tickets.
These seats on Southwest are so bad that this woman would rather sit on the
The
carry-on.
overhead bin.
This woman would rather be in an overhead bin than in her actual seat. Do you understand the words
Yeah.
that are coming out of my mouth?
Yeah.
She picked the overhead bin, the carry-on package bin, than instead of seat D11. How bad are the seats on Southwest?
I
That
don't know.
is an option. Do you understand what I'm saying on this one thing? How bad is it on Southwest? I know they've been cutting prices a little bit. And also, do you get the cookies and the drink when the cart come around?
No, because you get in trouble. They probably have
know.
the air marshal on you.
You know ain't no air marshal or no Spirit airliner. you got Cletus. Cletus is the one that to rescue when you fly
Cletus.
Southwest. when you fly Spirit Airline or Southwest,
Oh my God.
you don't have no air marshal. That's air marshal. That's for Delta and United. Come on. Sorry, y'all. I ain't trying to throw no shade on anybody that's flying Southwest Airline. It's a quality airline. As a matter of fact, the ratings are always pretty nice. So I don't want y'all getting mad at me, getting me canceled.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Southwest is a lot nicer than Spirit. So.
Okay. I've flown Spirit one time in my life. And I promised myself never again in life would I ever fly Spirit. If it gets so bad that I have to fly Spirit, I'll walk. That's been my rule.
I'll walk, I'll swim,
I
I'll
don't
take
care.
boat.
If it's Los Angeles and New York and it's like, hey, Tate, things have been kind of rough on you. We don't have enough money to buy that flight, but you got just enough money for the Spirit flight. I'm just gonna put my Nikes on and just start walking east. I'm not flying Spirit. It's like flying Spirit and going to Waffle House. You taking everything on your own. You understand? You
I
have
love how
made
you're
bad
comparing
decisions.
Spirit to Waffle House.
You have made bad decisions in life. That's all I'm just telling you. And Southwest is not on that level, but I bet you that woman that was in overhead compartment has flown Spirit before, and she's eating at Waffle House. Just letting you know. Do you understand where I'm coming from on this?
Okay, so this I found this on Instagram. So it said a video capturing a Southwest Airlines passenger napping in the overhead bin was gone viral on TikTok, amassing over 5.1 million views. So she was taking a nap in the overhead bin.
Okay, that's not better. That did not put me at ease. That wasn't like, oh, that makes so much more sense, Faith. Thank you for clarifying.
Curled up in the in the overhead bin.
When you're sitting in seat D12 and you're like, man, I just can't get comfortable here. I'm trying to shift in. You know what I mean? And your eye catches out the corner of your eye over here. You look at that empty overhead bin and you're like, that looks so much more comfortable. I'm going up there. Pardon me, sir. Let me get this bin above you.
I need
Pardon
to see if I can
Okay.
find this video.
Because
Because I need to know if they
You're
caught her climbing.
4'11", about 110 pounds. You can't fit into an overhead bin. Am I right? Or can you?
I've never tried, Tate. I didn't know it was an option for me
Whoa.
to climb
Whoa.
in the overhead bin.
The fact that you said I never tried, my big booty would not fit in an overhead bin.
I mean, I am small and I can curl up in places, but I wouldn't attempt. I'm also claustrophobic, so I would not attempt to try and get myself in an overhead bin.
Faith, if I tried to crawl up in an overhead bin, it would be some button gut hanging everywhere. I'm going to just keep it real. I don't see how you can fit up in there. Now, you would be the expert on being small and tiny. You're like compact. So maybe she's at that. She has to be a small woman, right?
She has to. I don't know.
See,
I don't
Faith, you done slipped up on our audience today because there should have been a picture sharing with the audience. Because I
It'll be
want
on
to
the
see.
thumbnail. It'll be on the thumbnail.
Okay. These people need to know. I need to know. I haven't even seen the picture. But how
Here.
small do you have to be to fit in there? I'm thinking about. I got a friend of mine. Her name is Mia. She's very fit, athletic woman, good looking lady. She flies a lot. I bet you she can't fit in one either. And she's not a big woman at all. You can't fit in an overhead bin unless you are incredibly small or things have been really rough on you. You've been flying a lot of Frontier Airlines, not Frontier, I'm sorry, Spirit Airlines. Frontier, I put some respect on their name now. Just saying.
Oh,
So,
gosh.
okay. You're over here, you're looking up pictures, or did they have comments on this one? I'm curious if there's some comments.
On Instagram it did. One
Okay.
second.
You look up some of these, because that, I'm telling you, this woman has flown Spirit before.
So, how did everyone just collectively not see her climb up there?
Yes. That picture of her just kind of looking up like whack-a-mole, like her head like kind of popped up, like trying to see if the drinks are being served yet, and then she came back down.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to step on the armrest to get up there, right?
Right, yeah. Yeah, you'd have to like step on somebody's head, I feel like, to try and get up there.
See, there's some things that, let me see here. Did you send me a picture?
Yeah.
Oh shoot, let me peep this out of just a second here, ladies and gentlemen. I want to see what Faithin sent me, because I am curious about what this person has. Nope, that's not it. I'll have to look at it later, Miss Faith. I am definitely curious though. Anyway, that's an interesting one.
Yes,
I will
it
be
is.
going back. I'm gonna be doing my own research on this one.
Investigation.
All
Oh
right.
gosh. Alrighty guys. Well, with that, we're gonna close out our show. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Andrew Tate Show, presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content updates. Thank you once again. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you tomorrow. Peace.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great.